Once upon a time, in a lush green forest, there lived a clever fox who loved nothing more than a delicious meal. The fox suddenly stopped, lifting his nose in the air as if he smelled something sweet. He sniffed around, then spotted a grape orchard in the distance, his eyes widening with delight. "Grapes? I haven't tasted those in ages, and they look so juicy," muttered the fox to himself. He approached the grapevine, his eyes fixed on a large, beautiful bunch of grapes hanging from a high branch. The grapes were plump, glistening in the sunlight, almost sparkling with dew. "Ah, what a feast! But they're so high up. No matter, I'll reach them easily." The fox stepped back, took a deep breath, and ran forward, leaping with all his might. He stretched his body, his paws reaching out, but he missed the grapes by a few inches and landed back on the ground, panting. "Not high enough, but I'm not giving up," the fox said, frustrated but determined. He gathered himself again. Determined, he ran faster and jumped higher, his paws grazing the leaves but still far from the grapes. His face showed strain and growing frustration. He tried several more times, each jump becoming weaker, his breaths heavier. "Come on, just a bit more. I can do it," he angrily shouted. Exhausted, the fox collapsed on the ground. Catching his breath, he stared at the grapes, which seemed to taunt him from their high perch. Finally, he stood up, brushed off the dirt, and turned away with a huff. "Who cares? Those grapes are probably sour anyway," he said, lifting his nose, pretending to be indifferent, and so the fox left, telling himself it was better this way. The moral of the story is, it's easy to scorn what you cannot have.
It's easy to scorn what you can't have. The moral in this story is, it is easy to despise what you can't have. It teaches a lesson that some people belittle a goal because they can't achieve it, rather than acknowledging their failure. Sniff means to smell something by taking air through your nose. Example, she sniffed the food before tasting it. Orchard means a big area of land where fruit trees are grown. Example, my grandfather owns an apple orchard. Step back means to temporarily stop being involved in an activity or situation in order to think about it in a new way. Example, I took a step back and thought about what I wanted to say. Take breath means to breathe air into your lungs. Example, taking breath slowly can induce a relaxation response in body. Catch breath means to pause an action or rest for a short time until you can breathe comfortably or regularly again. Example, I had to stop running to catch my breath. Panting means to breathe quickly and loudly through your mouth, usually because you have been doing something very energetic. Example, I arrived at the top of the hill, panting and covered in sweat. Brush off means to remove dust or dirt from someone or something by using hands or a brush. Example, he brushed the snow off his coat. Sour means a sharp taste or smell, like a lemon, and not sweet. Example, the plums are a bit sour.